All right, guys, we're back in the boat, finally. Now, before we get on to what's going on the back here, I just want to touch base on a comment that was left by Earl. Hope I pronounced that right. Now, he was wondering if we went a bit overkill on the hull. Now, in my opinion, I don't think so. Only because from factory back in the day, this was made for cruising. So it would have come out with maybe a 4-cylinder straight shaft or a leg at the back originally. Now, a lot of hands have been in this boat. When we started on the hull, it was very damaged. There was a lot of big areas down there that was very badly damaged. The hull itself needed a lot of work. Now, considering I did put a fair bit of layers onto the hull, 4 in total, but we're making this an offshore boat now. So I want to be able to come home safely, hitting some big waves, doing some fishing and getting home safe. So at the end of the day, we've added a fair bit of weight, yes. But considering I took out maybe 3 to 4 bags, 60 kilo bags of dust out of the boat. Now, what I've put in over this whole boat, so I'm talking from the hull, coating the stringers, coating the keel and the transom, and obviously right up to the top of the hull and all the way through the whole boat. We've used 200 litres of resin, including wastage, and we've used maybe 60 kilos of mat. Now that is not including the weight of the timbers, the 3 of them, and not including the weight of the stringers, the transom. Now, we did weigh the transom. It was 40 kilos with the center glass in the middle. The timbers, I don't remember. They weren't that heavy, but we're still adding the main bulkhead here and a bulkhead at the front and some supports. Now, that at the front wasn't fiberglassed in before, and that was only 12 mil. This one here was 12 mil, and this was doubled 12 at the front here. That was the only thing fiberglassed into the boat. So to answer your question, we're probably sitting at about 300 kilos now in the boat. What I took out, it's hard to work out. But once we get the bulkheads in, we finish the floor, I will take it for a nice weigh and see what it sits at. But I reckon about 300, 330, give or take, not including what's to come in. So I hope that answers your question. If I think it's a bit heavier, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not building this boat for racing or anything like that. I do like a heavier boat personally. I've been in a fair few different boats and this one sat in the water pretty good. But we do have a bit of leeway. So with the 5 litre that was in the back, at flat open throttle, the front was porpoising. So that just means the front was bouncing and there's no trim left. So you can either put a wedge in the back to fix that. And that was with an 80 litre water tank at the front here. I don't know if I showed you that in the stripping of the video. But at the front, we are going to beef it up with this little contraption I made here. So that's our template there. So obviously that's going to go right across the front here. That's the front bulkhead. Now we're going to do this out of 18 mil because we're going to put a Lone Star winch at the front, a drum winch. And to beef it up, I'm going to put front supports going across here, and the Lone Star winch is going to be right here bolted up. I think they're about 400 wide, about there, and 300 on the drum. That's about 40 kilos at the front. So we have recently had 80 here. So time I fiberglass all this in, we're probably going to be at the same figure, plus the anchor hanging on the front. And then the front here, we're going to do this out of 18 mil as well. Now this is just a template. There is going to be a door from flush here up to the top, just to beef it up. And then to finish off the front, which I can't do just yet, I will be putting a bow thruster here. or wherever it sits down there. And then I can start building the cabin up. So I hope that answers your questions with the weight. We are adding a lot more weight into the boat, but the boat sits very well in the water, especially in rough waters. Now we are cracking on with the bulkheads now, as you just seen with the template. So that's going to be 2 pieces. So that's from side to side is 2480. You cannot get a sheet that wide and the height in one hit. So we'll be putting a sheet 1200, if you picture it like that, one that way and one that way. We're obviously going to have a 20mm gap there and a 20mm gap there because they're 1220 sheets. Now I did pick them up ready. They're in the garage. I've got 3 sheets to go and we'll finish off these 2. I'm not going to show you cutting them, only because prior videos we've showed all this already. I don't want to bore you, but that's what we're going to be doing. This is just an update for you. So I'm going to get all of them cut and fiberglassed in, and then we're going to start recording the new stuff, how I'm going to work out the floor. I'm going to be putting a bow thruster there, how I'm going to work that out, and working out spacings for motor. And it's starting to get good. So I'm wrapped. It's very exciting to do this. I know there's different ways to make the profile, but I got a little bit of time. I'm just playing around, seeing what I like in the boat, what I don't like. I will be using up this area in here too by putting a little doorway there and same there, just for extra storage. And I think that's ample enough for the anchor. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. I know I haven't posted about this boat in a long time. Work has slowed down for me, so I don't want to invest too much into the boat. I'm just going to do it at stages now. So I'm going to get the cabin done and then we're going to work our way back. But that is it for this boat. If you're wondering how the stringers turned out and the keel, they turned out mint. They're rock solid. They ain't going nowhere. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Just a nice short one. If you have any questions, feel free. And thank yous for commenting. Really appreciate the feedback. Inspires me to post some more videos for yous. But that is it guys. Catch yous later.